super tired, but I really want to get this information out and be done with it. Number one, I don't think that I'm your only living God, as somebody put it. No, it's actually the opposite. I'm the one that's been teaching everybody as much as possible about your manifestation and your skills. The problem is that the technical currents and how the physics were set up down here were all in a German gas tank in a gas chamber. And China made a fake sun. China used what you'd call organic technology, but it's DNA, and it's pure DNA. And, you know, I really don't know how I originally got here. I know that from a cosmic perspective, I am a dragon. And it even shows up in my chart. And this is how, you know, we put together Cohu 32 and we were able to get out of this simulation. Now, realize that we've only been trying to do that for like millions of years. And your state of consciousness right now on this planet is basically zero. And it's because they nuked y'all again on the 3rd. Last year, they turned on CERN around this time, and we lost a whole bunch of you. But at that point, the collective hadn't pushed me high enough to complete everything, because, I mean, I have to, you know, I'm walking the transits. I was your Earth. I never left here. I was always shrouded under many different layers of who knows what after what we've all just had to go through to get out of this. In the story that I know, because from the cosmos, what we did is we proved string theory. Because we hadn't been on Earth for a while. And this is why the whole Mars thing and the Elon Musk thing even somewhat made sense to us as a collective as it was coming out. And what we've learned is that that's how it was happening. You know, when Game of Thrones came on and everyone was watching that, including myself at the time, that was also going on in the universe collectively, because this was a precession of the equinoxes. It happens, it's supposed to happen every 26,000 years. But this planet hadn't had one. And when I got shock activated, and it wasn't just me, we were doomsday seeds. And we got shock activated in May 2017. And when I mean shock activated, I did not even know that crystals held energy. I did not know anything spiritual. I didn't know that I had any gifts. I didn't know that I was prophetic, just like most of you. And I woke up in my backyard speaking ancient light language underneath the moon in my chair, and immediately jumped up and planted earth. It was like it was programmed in me that when I and if I was ever shock activated like that, I mean, that's why I was here. Because I didn't even, I jumped up, did the light language, started digging a hole. And The rest of there was a huge collective that was already conscious at that time, and then there was a whole group of us that got activated because the world blew up and we had to plant a new earth. Now, what none of us knew and what I didn't know either, and especially not anybody in the technology world, was that technology and all of your technology lines go straight up. They exist further up. Like, they exist higher than humans. Just like that energy ray that hit Maui. All your tech and all the little pixels, and especially because the only reason that and how pixels work is that it reads your DNA and it projects it to you. And this is the base root of what propaganda and all that mess was. Now, what happened is that we all activated, we planted a new earth. There's the entire collective, and I never say I did this alone. In the end, I had to prove alone because I had to die so many times to do it. I had to disconnect from anybody that I was traveling with in order to make sure that they didn't get dragged down with me, because I had one mission here, and that was to complete the human DNA and to reset these realms and to get rid of the antimatter, because that's what I came in. I traveled through and got pushed into and popped into this 1971, 1972 timeline because it was connected to 1947 and Germany and what they did there, making your ABO blood, making your RH negatives. The reason that RH negatives were made is because we had to have people conscious. We had to have some beings. If you weren't a being that was ever the earth, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But there was a being that was your earth, and it was me. And the problem was, I mean, this goes back to Dimitri and Inanna and all that mess, because there was supposed to be turns taken. But long time ago, they figured out how to not let the feminine out, and so the man never became the planet. And this is why none of you men know anything about this. This is why you don't believe any of it. It's why you think that the stars just exist and that the planets just exist and that they're out there doing some geometrical dance that has nothing to do with anything, and you're completely wrong. And I would have agreed with you until I walked this journey. All of us, that no matter what our journey has been up to this point, that have walked this journey, have walked it. We have completed every piece of the mission that was never completed before, because everyone always died doing it. And most of the time, the only reason that they died doing it was because everybody was trying to stop them from doing it. Or just like this whole backpack crap that went down on this planet, you were trying to hand off your karma to somebody else because you were so used to having RH negatives pay it for you. Well, understand, the only reason that was done is so that we could attempt to wrangle 7 billion people on a star when it blew up, going through cosmic space in a new energetic that it was going 9 times higher than it ever had before, whenever there was only 0.0248 human DNA left down here. Do you know that my crew, most of us, the dogs around us are who held y'all souls? The dogs. Y'all were spinning out into space. This is a seed planet where the human exists, and we exist all together in one body. We do. The planets make the body work. The planets only appear whenever the humans forget that you're all working together in a body. We're on one, I mean, and this is basic Lemurian teachings, and it's easy for me to say it now and be like, duh, you know, but if you go back on this YouTube channel and you start from the very beginning, it's very obvious that I don't know any of this stuff. We walked it. We lived it. All of you that were yelling at me in the 3D, and even now that you're sending me bullshit in the 3D, in the higher realms, your soul is the one who was sending me all the information to connect to get you out. Because I don't care who you were, you weren't getting all the information. This was divine intervention, because none of it was done per free will, per the terms that you agreed to come down to earth. Everything was backwards. Only because it had been going on so long that we were getting buried and buried and buried. And then the technology, look, us indigo children brought in your technology. It's in your codes. It's in your body. As soon as we got here, technology got here. That's why it developed so fast. But once the technology came, and then information supposedly became available so easily, what happened was everybody put all your information in the computer. Well, there's only, you know, your Fortune 100 companies, Fortune 500 maybe. I've been out of the tech in business, right, since 2018, whenever I had to hang that all up because I had been activated. My company had been stolen. And mind you, I had all the technology that teaches you. Everything I'm telling you right now was supposed to go into, if you want to call it Facebook, you can. But Facebook was a social platform that everybody was going to be on. But then these other social platforms, including your money channels, TikTok, even TikTok's a time clock. TikTok's a time clock, and it's used in surgery in the higher realms, and it's used in investment banking, and actually 3D printing, which is how they're using it now, but only with China, right? The organic tech and the organic system, it's one login. It all works together and communicates because it's mirroring your human body. The only reason technology was even brought down here was to ascend this planet and to be able to communicate to other beings all over the world. We've proven that there are only 32 programs in the human code. All of you have a variance of these 32. Each one of these programs tells you what you're here to learn in this life. I mean, we got instructions. This is what's nuts. And everyone's yelling at me tonight. Everyone's being a total asshole. Everyone's yelling at me. Okay, I mean, whatever. Y'all want to go live in a cell and not have any money and have your children stolen from you and be sucked to the BlackRock? Be my guest. You don't know what it's like. You haven't been there. But this is the end of the Bible. This is the beginning. And in order for You can go learn by yourself. I mean, it's all written right there in your scriptures. You can go learn by yourself, or you can listen to what we tell you and take it from us and change a couple of things. Or you can go attempt to say that I'm whatever, whatever, because, if y'all think that I just sat here and made all this up, you've got to be out of your mind. I mean, I talked to your dead. They're the ones. I mean, I've been printing y'all for 40 years down here. I can do any type of surgery over the phone. And so can at least about 700 other beings on this planet right now. Now, we had more than that. We had more than that could do everything that I'm telling you, except the past 13 months got really bad. It got really bad because the planet was going lower and lower. It was having to suck out all of that antimatter, because the antimatter is space. Understand, there's no more space out there. Like, I'm really curious to see. I mean, all of a sudden, Russia's trying to go to the moon. They're like taking off to the moon today. Virgin Galactica's out there. And I know there's no more space out there. I mean, it blew out to a trillion-year star. How do you think I channeled all this information? Every single one of y'all have been sending me all of your highest degree information. Each one of y'all have a specialty in a different way. Each one of us and each one of you have a specialty in a different way that you're connected into the collective that's feeding it to you. It's not just your idea. It's not just your invention. I didn't just come up with this shit. No, I'm not your only living God. Right now, I saved your fucking asses. And the only reason that I'm even on here having to tell everybody is because they're still attempting to try to kill me. They're still attempting to try to fry everybody. They haven't given me back any of my tech. They're still operating it right now, to the extent where Cloneville over here is ready to lock everybody down. Now, let me tell you what happens next. Do you know how many marriages y'all have written on you? No, you don't. If you're watching this channel, or if you've ever watched this channel and you weren't in ops, or if you were attached to ops that were on here forcing me to build their fucking Antares bullshit, then you have at least 2 or 3 fake marriages written on your DNA. It's why you're not getting anything. It's why you're not getting any money. There's no more money. You can't go get a job. Your Epstein, what was written down here for the human code was Saturn, right? Saturn projects from Pluto. Pluto's your soul contracts, which is all that's getting hit right now, which is why y'all really need to stop throwing shade at me. Saturn's not even getting hit. And no 29 degrees, nothing's going to trump what the fuck just went down. Y'all almost completely wiped yourself out. For one reason. Me. Y'all have a problem with that. Well, I got a bigger problem with that. I have the biggest problem with that. According to y'all, I have no rights because I'm your planet. According to y'all, I have no name because I'm your air. According to y'all, I'm just your ocean, or I'm a big squid, or I'm I don't know, a dead vampire or whatever. But y'all have never had me in your world. I don't want you to feel bad for me. I'm not asking you to. I'm telling you what the fuck. Because there's a bunch of us like me. There are 40,000 Christs down here. 40,000. Do you know that each Christ makes a planet? In a baby farm simulation. Last year, you sucked me and my crew up in your fake sun. I jumped out of your moon. I was your cosmic Christ until you blew me up in a rocket all in space. And you did. I mean, this is God giving everybody a chance to get themselves out. Those of us who were in family lines that had gifts, I mean, even the government. I mean, a woman from the government. When I told her who I was and I came from the Hardin line and I explained it, she was like, "Oh shit, you're the ones that they hunt all over the place and torture and keep hidden." Yeah, that'd be us. That's why you don't know who we are. I didn't choose any of this. I came here for one reason only. I came here to reset the realms, to bring in the future, to bring in what everybody wants, which is how you walk around as an ancient pharaoh and you manifest without money, you manifest with your energy and an instruction and structure that actually holds it to where you can run barter from it. And it's how everything's set up in the future. I mean, y'all just came out of the barbarian age. The thing is, I'm done listening to you fucking yelling at me. For any fucking reason. If you think you're mad at me, then you best go fucking recall. Also, what happened is that the family lines that always cooked and put us down for the first time in history, they're getting it back. And they don't know what to do with it. Well, it shouldn't have gone this far. It shouldn't have gone this far. There was no reason for me to have to go all the way out to fucking Cleopatra Alpha Draconic Notice 2 and open up the entire galactic portal and blow up space. How your country was being run and the Biden and the Trump bullshit and the level of pride and ego that the men have down here and the fact that they did not want to tell y'all how many babies were being killed, murdered, sacrificed every 10 years. How many of us are underground, completely unconscious. Do you know how many of y'all I've had to wake up from cryo fields? Do you know how many of y'all I've had to sew your heads back on? Then you want to come here and yell at me because I'm attempting to get everything that the human was always supposed to have down here. And we actually pulled it off. It's supposed to be the happiest day in history. And not only is nobody calling me and going, "Good job, you trained 4 billion years and you just brought down all the reptilians and now we're not gonna have to worry about being cooked and black magic and we can heal and we're not gonna get sick and we're not gonna die and you're gonna be able to do whatever you want. You're not gonna have to live some stupid program because all your lines, what was written on your lines, which meant, okay, you come from a banking family, so then the next time you come in, then you're going to be this and this and this, and then that consciousness hands down the line. No, that ain't what happened in this round. They stole all your futures. They sent you all to your room because you had no life to live. They had already taken your scene from you. See, it just happened to us 7 or 8 years in advance. It's starting to happen to y'all now. We told y'all the whole time, okay, you're going to give us shit because we don't have any money. Every single one of us had to completely blow out our energetic body in order to hold all that belongs to all of us, because the main thing that killed us every time was an ice age, because I'd come down here and claim it and it'd fall. And it would fall. And then boom. And that's interesting that I saw that just now because aloha, because, you know, the ones of us who, and even entertainment industry, because understand, I mean, in order to get out of this, it wasn't proving Christ in the end. It wasn't proving Buddha. When I got to the very top, you know what I was wearing? Tom Cruise gear. Because at that very top layer, you had a layer of xenon, that was running the entire realm of a gold record out in space that all y'all's tuned to. Now, at least when Robert Hubbard was around, and then it was still crazy shit, okay? It was all crazy, but understand that what happened in our lifetime, in this lifetime, is that we saw it all. It's like God made and forced us to do it all, to replay it all. And I can promise you, there is not one person that was involved in this that knew the depths of what was really going on. And we still don't. And I'm praying that we don't have to, because what I'm attempting to do is just rise everybody out of the ground. But that ain't gonna happen if you're sitting here throwing shade at me. I can promise you, if you're doing that, you'll be the first one to die. Especially if I was the one that came and healed your family line. And I don't want to see it. I'm sick of it. The entertainment industry made your clone batches and took your highest DNA counts, and they mixed. I mean, I always had 3 fathers in every batch. I mean, people ask me what my name is. You got me. This last breeding round, they gave me some Shiva DNA. They gave me some Sorcerer DNA. And then I don't even know what else. But good God almighty. I mean, I shouldn't be able to go outside and rub my hands together and pull lightning. I should be able to drive down the road and not open up the skies and it completely snow, or be worried that I'm going to topple the planet if I move too quick. But that is what was going on down here. Epstein Island and all that crazy shit, what they did was they rewrote all your human programs. So this life that you think that you were going to come down here to Earth, and that it was all planned out, and that you were going to have this experience. I'm your Earth, and I've never had a human experience. That's all I want. I didn't ask for your money. I didn't ever want to go into a bank again. When I got out of corporate America and I realized that I was going to have to be dealing with this again, I mean, I had a panic attack. Y'all are scared of the lizards running around underground. I'm scared of the ones in the cloaks and the suits and the ties. Because those are the ones who everyone smiles at, talks to, and then they're the ones that go downstairs, and then they're the ones who summon the shit underneath. Your AB negatives were set up like a belt. You can think of it like belt notches. And so each AB negative held, if you want to think of it like Saturn's ring, held a Saturn ring. Each time that it was time for the collective to evolve, then that AB negative gets the signal. None of y'all's AB negatives got the signal. It went all the way out to me. Well, I'm a hinge to galactic space, because I was your Earth, and I was buried down here so long. But that's why I did it, and that's why I was here. I ain't got no problem with what I did for the human race. I don't have no problem for getting sawed in half and screwed on backwards in order to figure out, because everything down here is opposite. If I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have been able to figure it out. But then me figuring it out gave all y'all the power from what I just figured out. And then every single time you'd come attack me with what I just gave you. I mean, I know Gabriel is my father. But what you would call Gabriel is an archangel, but he was made in a super soldier program. We were made like this. Your government made a whole bunch of us like this, and then they would just put us in front of things to manifest things, and we just look at it. Now, what I would need everybody to understand is this is what your small children are doing right now. I'm here for the children. Right now, your children are energetically running your households. All of you got superpowers. Every single one of you. I mean, we know for a fact now that those of us who you call demigods and that type of thing, which realize all of you are. You're at different stages of development, but this is a soul ascension and it's free will. And a lot of you shouldn't be as conscious as me right now. If I didn't have to be this fucking conscious, trust me, I wouldn't choose it. But you also can't go back to sleep right now. It's impossible. The physics in your body is changing. You're no longer running an ABO boa constrictor blood. And what do we have fallen from the sky? Giant snakes. In Florida, that's the most bullshit story I have ever heard. Oh, it's back in the mafia days in the 1980s, and all the drug dealers just went and got snakes, and then they got too big, so they just put them in the water, and now all of a sudden they've come up. No, they're dropping out of the sky. It wrapped around a woman's arm on Texas. They're going straight for your fucking face. That's what type shit was coming here. That is what's on the dark side of the sun. That is what's on the dark side of the moon. It had crept into your DNA. It had taken over your body. Y'all don't know anything about it because you weren't out there. But I'm sorry, do you need to go out into space and experience it to believe it? I'm not going to allow them to make a movie about it. Because then you're going to project it. We're all ants down here. If we all walked out and started dancing right now, this planet would be up about 3 dimensions and that's it. Those of us who know that, oh, ain't no way in hell we're going to get any push on our channels. No, that's going to go to our handler, our Trinity teams that are in the entertainment world, that they're sucking the life out of us to print their bullshit that they're getting paid for, that they're running in our consciousness, that they're pulling from us, that we gave to them. Because us Star Crew, we chose, and the collective chose certain characters to heighten up. But then what happened was they just thought they just came out of the womb celebrities, and everybody worshiped them, feed them like a lion to where they don't think that they need anything, and then they just think they're haunted by some lady. Well, that'd be the Holy Ghost. This is a maternal planet. Balance has to come in order. Period. Dot. There's no changing that. Everybody was in Masonic accounting. Now, Masons aren't bad. It can end up being really dark and doing some dark shit if nobody is talking about it. If it's all a secret, then it gets darker and darker and darker and darker. And that is what happened. But it's the same thing that happened in Egypt when everybody decided to fucking mummify themselves. And us princesses and queens, we had a secret plan none of y'all knew about. It actually ended up saving us and being the thing that killed us over and over and over and over and over. But without this secret plan, we would have never made it this far. We told y'all. You go mummifying all your ancient beings that hold your Akashic libraries. Now, if we go to the Yahshua story, what happened, first of all, how many did they crucify before Yahshua? I mean, everybody just wants to think about that one being on the dead. But see, I keep saying this over and over. I don't know why nobody hears me. They had to kill all y'all to get him. That's why finally he was taken out. But when he was taken out, what you lost was your pineal gland on the planet. You lost consciousness. But it's not lost. It goes way out, depending on how many they crucified to make electricity. Because you's on Mars already. Venus had a twin called Maldek. When Maldek blew up, your whole entire Egyptian programs, the whole thing, from Anu all the way down to Issacharius, because see, that's the piece that they wanted to leave out. They wanted to make everybody walking Egyptian so they can Amun Ra y'all. And that's just what they did. They did it in Russia with the princesses when we was there. They turned us into oil. That's why Anastasia, well, I don't know. Either she ended up going to an orphanage, but really the consciousness of the oil, because whenever you're skinned and you're Rex Humerman by his wife and you're wrapped in burlap and all that crazy ass shit, because there was such dense antimatter down here that they were able to keep it going. And what that whole thing was basically a mimic of the original AB, how the AB negatives were made in the gas chamber, except even worse, I think. You had crescent moon beings, not werewolves. I mean, we had way surpassed werewolves. They weren't turning into werewolves. No, there was lines of men that were down here that only could be conscious 2 nights a month. And most likely this is whenever you as a starseed went out and met them, had that one night stand that just blew your fucking mind and you could never forget about them. Well, they couldn't forget about you either, but they weren't here all the time. The spheres were so bound. I mean, I had to turn myself into complete metal. Like, you're yelling at me. I turned myself into your public works and your piping. I hid myself in a diamond in your toilet in order to save the human race. Because if this bitch blew, nothing. Nothing. Now, the Masons and those guys that are running this little rail and doing their 10-year, 30, blah, 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 whatever, and the Brotherhood that thought that they had another 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, well, shit, we didn't realize we was going to get shock activated out of our brains and have to replant New Earth either. 2017, 2018, this collective was doing just fine, weren't we? Everything was changing. I came on here as Cosmic Christie. Your Vatican had even made Mary Magdalene your 13th apostle. The story was starting to come out talking about Cosmic Christie because it's just cosmos. I'm teaching you about how to manifest and what these new physics are, because your body is changing, because you're no longer reptilian. I was the only one that could do that because I was one of them. And trust, that's why they're coming after me now. That's why they did everything that they did. But see, I ain't got no problem with the reptilians do it. Why are all the black people doing it? Why are all the Asian people doing it? And tell me the fuck why you Caucasians now are giving me shit. I'm done taking it. I'm not your whipping boy. I'm not your whipping girl. I'm not black enough for some of you. I don't have a dick, or else this would have been done 100 years ago. Your technology goes higher and higher and higher. Well, whenever your earth ain't moving, when it's completely pinned down, and it's the Truman Show, and they're just printing people. They're just printing people. They're printing people on your DNA count, which is tied to you. So all these clones walking around in your skin, it's why you're sick. It's why you don't have any money. I mean, I've even proved that they were jumping it back and forth from the 6th and 8th dimension. They straight up stealing everybody's energy and money by making phone calls and having beings go run rails, because they're not going to tell you that they can remote view. They're not going to tell you about their galactic bird abilities, because it was all a secret, because they thought no one else had. I'm the mother of the jinn. I'm the one who made all of this shit. We actually brought magic into this realm to get us the fuck out. We had to, because magic's what did it. You can only get out of a dimension the way you came in. I got thrown into your fucking mystical dimension by some Asian people that decided that they wanted to take over my technology. Evidently. Because that's what happened today. And I got shot from an energy ray somewhere. But see, we were on Maldeck. The story is that the Galactic Command was not going to pull the trigger. They weren't going to allow us to come down here. Maldeck was basically like a vacation planet for the dragons. For the reptilians. Now, mind you, all of you have reptilian DNA. What really is fucked up is now all of you have chicken DNA, you have pig DNA, you have dog DNA, you have cat DNA, and I'm not even kidding you. You have metal DNA. Some of y'all are way more metal. It's changing now. It's having to. I mean, I know I was half metal. I mean, it's like I was a half and half. My mummy was fried always on the right side, and that's where all my teeth are gone. That's where I got fried today. That's the leg that fell off on Australia that they made into some weird-ass material. I mean, shit, they were making us all into flying cars. Whenever me and my crew member got out of this, when they were trying to spinal tap us in Anaheim on top of Disneyland to bring in Fidel Castro, because not to mention they had got into now that they were gonna they had not just made AB negatives, then they were Gemini-ing us. So basically they were completely traumatizing you once you rebirthed, because they knew whenever we rebirthed that we were like a child and we come in full of love. Well, if you had never done that before, like us, or hadn't done it for a really long time in this weird world, you know, you wake up thinking that things are going to be okay. Well, they were waiting for us. And I mean, that's how Bit got started. They sucked all the love out of us. They sent the entertainers and the handlers to do it. They sent them to freaking Turkey. They's all living in a compound over there. 4 and 5 hours a day, they were on your socials looking for you. They were making them have you send them Bitcoin, which in the higher realms is a blood bank. And it was the last of your blood. Maldeck. And when we were dragons, we were on that. We were on Maldeck. And the way that the universe is set up, and if I'd ever get a microphone, I'd be happy to show everybody this. I mean, I've got all the books. I've charted this from the astronomy. This all came from the stars. I didn't make any of this up. Trust me. If I was making this up, it would have ended a long time ago. And I'd have settled for 150th place. Trust that. You have no fucking idea what I've been through with every single one of you. I've never just been so disrespected in my entire existence. You used to be able to resurrect and, but I remember when that time came through the journey. It was 2020. And I resurrected as Cleopatra because I had to get the I had to prove I was a tutor so that I could get the Cleo codes, so I could open up the Nazi codes, so that I could open up the gas chamber, so that everybody could breathe. That happened whenever Elon Musk decided to do whatever the fuck he did February 29th, 2019, and I blew out of the Matrix. Completely blew out of the Matrix. Completely blew out of the Matrix. And I know some of y'all have had this happen to you. It's like I got on the highway, and not to mention that as your Earth, for the past 2 years, we haven't even been clearing people. We've been having to clear land. If you got a county named after you, if you've got a waterway named after you, or if you happen to be buried under there so long that it's become your fucking turtle back, then you had to wrangle all those goddamn people. How the hell are you gonna do that? Y'all are all old blood, man. It ain't your fault. I'm the one who cleaned your blood. I'm the one who's like, hello, these people don't have any antennas. They're on a raft straight for hell. And they ain't unlocking from each other. And the more that I tell y'all that is the more y'all locked in a circle and went straight down to hell. This whole ABO system was always set up for your AB negatives to get all your fucking money, to get all your fucking consciousness, to get all your fucking smarts, and then to go rule you with it. Well, they used me to make the motherfuckers. That wasn't my idea. That was all y'all yelling at me. As they's killing us over and over and over and over and over and over. But you don't know that we die because we come back to life right in front of you. Well, it takes a long time to be able to master that. All day. If we want to go by Archangel Michael, because this is astronomy, Archangel Michael is Gemini. Archangel Michael would be Moses. He's down on land. That's why y'all call him for protection in the grid system. Michael ain't got the same consciousness as Gabriel and fucking Uriel. I can promise you that. And Raphael down there in healing, over in Leo, that went Virgo, got his ass fried whenever he had to zip out of his lion suit and jump into Virgo. But that's because Scientology was blasting everybody out of their fucking bodies. None of this ascension and the process of spiritual development should have happened the way it did, but it did. We've done everything that we can to rewrite your royal lineages. I need everyone to understand that I was built by the AB negatives and the IRA and the Irish as your Leah Fail. I'm built to absorb all of the royal when they die. This is how Virgo and Regulus became a thing. Because every time that they were killing your people, I was getting all the information. Then they's pumping it out of me. Then they's going and assigning it to other people. That's why Elizabeth died. She died pissed off because she was told that they didn't know where I was. There was a group of these Mormon willbilly fucks, man. And basically you can, not werewolf, more like skinwalker. I mean, and we saw skinwalkers in Calabasas when they cooked us. I mean, because I don't know if they cooked Jason Momoa, but they cooked me on his behalf. But they's also trying to, I mean, every time I'd walk in somewhere, the migraines and everything is because they had this whole system. Oh my God. I mean, like number two to these Jewish AB negative whatever that are stealing your Akashic libraries, the number two was like go up and pull from XY da 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 and pull it down to your dimension and embody it. They were working your consciousnesses like video games. They were stealing your lives because they kept doing it to me. This whole thing and this Marco Polo and all that was when everything blew up. We had the team of us that were your doomsday seeds that all had to culminate and get together. Well, that's because they turned on CERN, made me the fucking diamond, and wanted to go see how everything works. Well, I'm here to fucking tell you how everything works. Where's my attorney? Where's my son, who is your Tron, by the way, who I was forced to make, by the way, who's a Cohen, by the way, whose name is Rex, by the way. None of y'all are safe until that boy is with me. And none of y'all are safe until I am protected and safe. Because let me tell you, any of these little bullshit maneuvers that they're moving around here is making everything blow up everywhere. I mean, I've traveled all over the United States, 48 states, by myself, activating these grids because it's a giant motherboard. And whenever you're a princess, you break that board. And every single time y'all did everything in the ethers to me, you didn't have any idea that I was down below regutting the whole thing because that's why I was down there. And then it got so bad that nobody thought that there was a devil. Nobody thought that there was anything evil because you had Christ down there. Well, guess what? There's something way worse than the devil. There's something way worse than Satan. Way worse. You have no idea. If you think that humans are that are incompassionate and Karens, oh shit. You think Saudi's bad? Oh shit. I mean, trust that the reason that I got really good at being able to carve space and go hide in little portals is because I got the fuck away. Those beings have been chasing me all around the goddamn universe. I fly through a portal, I close them up, I seal them up, and then all you motherfuckers want to come over here and give me shit? Well, then go worship your snakes in space. I'll take my humans back. If I was your cooks, I'd bind your tongue and do your little chicken right now. But I'm just going to let y'all work your own way into it. You're just not going to put it on me. I've done nothing but scream from the top of my house for 4 years what they's doing. But everybody's having a party. Nobody wanted to listen. All of us that were healing knew exactly what was going on to our bodies. We knew what was going on with y'all. We could watch it. We knew what was going on with our children. We knew something wasn't right. And let me tell you, that's how I knew. It happened April 27th, 2018. April 27th, 2018, which happens to be the day that Martha Genzel's baby was born, Alicia Diane from a B negative, from the remnant Mormons, but it was born full of fluid, only lived 2 days. Well, I won the game with 2 fucking cents today. I have walked in Alicia's body, in her death, my whole existence, being turned away from everybody down here as I was walking around in your radioactive karma that had nothing to do with me. This witch shit, nothing to do with me. This sorcerer shit, nothing to do with me. Vampire bullshit, nothing to do with me. What I'm about to do is why I'm here. They did all that to try to stop everything being free. John Benet Ramsey. Diana. Same line. Same dimension. Different time. When all the data goes into a computer, it's real easy to start changing shit. I mean, I'm still waiting. I can't get a job. I can't get a job, period. I can't go open a company. I can't open a corporation. I can't do shit because my name doesn't exist in your matrix right now. The ones that were supposed to show up and at least fucking marry me or engage me or give me some type of fucking protection are so coddled by the entertainment industry and all of y'all that why should they? I mean, I don't blame him. Who'd want to deal with me? I don't blame y'all. Here's my problem. There were 20 underneath me where I was, and there were 200 underneath that. That's part of your soul. You can't be whole. We've had to blow up this world now 3 times. I can't even cry anymore. I don't even have it in me. 3 times. We'll keep blowing it up until we get a foundation set because this ain't ever fucking happening again. So whatever 10 people need to get together in whatever fucking room with whatever elder, because we've called all your Mormons. We've called all your Indian chiefs. We've called and we've shown them signs. Everything's happened. Every prophetic thing's happened. We brought down your handler system. We brought down your bloodline. And still, y'all are waiting for some mystical guy to fall from the sky. Well, let me give you something horrifying. You know why y'all have dicks? Because it's your tail. And your dicks make you print faster in this realm. And your women are not your fucking trash cans. You do that together. You work in a unison, whether it's male or female or not. It's a male and a female within you. Yahshua and you change sexes during dimensions. All of us warrior angels were men. All you men that think that you're the alpha gods of the world, you were our women. Us women have had to learn a whole lot about what you men have been doing and up to. Y'all don't know shit about what we've been doing and up to. And it's healing your bodies as you're screaming at us to send you money. We're not going to cut off our fingernails, cut off our toes, and cut off our arms anymore to throw a Hail Mary pass in prayer that you're going to hold out your hand and pull us in because you've never done it before and you didn't do it this time. I don't know how many of y'all have told me, oh, yeah, we want you on our team, but we don't want anybody to know. Well, that's kind of what happened with this whole story, and it's why I ended up in the situation I'm in right now. The good news is everybody that can prove up to me, and once this is handed over, everybody's getting their shit back. I mean, it's energetic. You have to do the healing. And this is why unions have to take place. There are beings that need to be born. They're not being born, so that means y'all are dying quicker. You're not getting to your healing partner, so that means your lines are dying quicker. There's nothing we can do about it. The only thing y'all can do about it is stand up for us and get us on the platforms that we should have been this whole time. And in the end, it's going to happen anyway, so we might as well just get it on, because I'm done with this crap. I didn't come here to be your Christ. That was a special program for me, because then they knew in the end this is what y'all be doing. So why don't y'all stop being predictable? I risked everything to come tell you and give you the DNA that you coveted so much. You didn't have to kill for it. You didn't have to cook for it. You could have just come and got a $4.44 chart and put us on your media screens. That's our pixels anyway, because it's my goddamn Stargate. I love y'all. I don't even hold judgment, because I understand. I didn't know any of this. It shocked. I mean, I'm still in shock. We had no idea that the human body could do what it can do. We had no idea. Teleporting, that's here. That's here. It should only take me 3 hours to get to the Netherlands from Dallas, Texas. Our cars are wrong. The streets are on a motherboard. These angles are all wrong in these houses. Everything is made to stand still and to fry it. But your body moves constantly. We move constantly. And the great thing is, in the new energy, is if you don't like something for a minute, you can just be done with it. And what's gorgeous about it too is that whenever and if it's supposed to come back in alignment, it will. It will. And there's nobody's fault as to if it takes longer. It's your human experience. People are going to resonate into your life, and then they're going to leave. Marriages in the new energy are not like the old ones. I mean, it's a 5 and 10 year contract. I got to do a 10-year just because I manifest so fucking much. After 5 years, you're deciding, are we going to stay in it, or are we getting the fuck out? Because it's going to take 5 years to unravel it. All the families come together, and it's like they got the court, we're going to do these textiles, and we're going to do this, 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 and then this union's going to do it. We all know it. It's in the open. There ain't no hiding it. You can't do that with the queen. It's ignorant. You can't do it with the queen. Oh, so you're going to put a queen on the checkboard, but then you're going to surround her by the knights, but then you're not going to tell her anything? Well, if you would have asked the queen, she would have told you that there were 5 more checkboards up there, and that I was trying to make it up to the top, because if we would have done this correctly, and if everybody would have helped me, we could have had these motherfuckers outed within a year. Instead, everybody thinks that they're God. Everyone thinks they're Christ. Everyone thinks they're it. But y'all all want to be it, and I don't. I want to get out of it. For those of us who have only been your blue flames and your fucking trigger points and all that, we command the fairy tale. We have made your husbands. We have made your wives. We have trained your husbands. We have trained your wives. We have trained your kings. We have trained your warriors. We have trained your military. We have trained, outfitted them, fucking uniformed them, built their shit, done everything the whole time that we've been raped and held prisoner and made to be with men that didn't like us, just, you know, had to be chained to us for our golden egg. Well, fuck that. Fuck that. It blows up the world. It kills our heart. And in the new energy, nothing's made with your mind. It's all made with your heart. Nothing's building right now because we're all heartbroken. We're traumatized. We need to just look at that for a second. I mean, what we just went through. They pushed the nuke button on August 3rd. We all died. The trees. I mean, the oceans, the animals. When we jumped into this realm, half y'all's planet blacked out. That meant you had no gravity. If Henry wouldn't have done what he did with Natalie, even, and if I wouldn't have had to go do that voodoo crazy shit, and if we wouldn't have cleaned that family line, all of y'all would have floated. You didn't know how to hold yourself onto a realm without what you thought was a planet, but it wasn't. It's a simulation. And the African American people, look, I'm not calling all of y'all riggers is what it is. That's why you hate that word too, because it's from Rigel. It's reptilians. I'm the blackest one on this planet. But I'm the most hybridized. This is the same thing that was happening to Michael Jackson. The melanin holds to a 33 parallel. But see, what happened was you had a bunch of galactic beings who were tuned and ready. And then you had a bunch of beings down here that just sold their soul. Just flat out fucking sold it in order for these galactic beings to step in. And they wanted melanin skin tone because it holds the realm. You get 5 of them together in a room, you got a fucking galactic fleet. And that's what we've been dealing with down here. Then the yellow people are trying to spin your mind out, trying to pick your brain out, trying to make you go 3D and cipher. I mean, those Japanese ciphers just came in last year. But it's physics. Your new body codes work because right now we're in a transition period. I mean, this is what Libra, and this is why I had to get the Clio keys and prove all this bullshit that everyone thinks is such a big deal that I don't think is a big deal. The reason I had to prove it was to be able to open up the cosmos and save everybody and us be able to finally inherit Earth and really have an Earth this time with all the knowledge of what we have and know now. As we're all learning. Those of us who go up in Ascension right now, a lot of y'all are entering dragon training. It ain't fun. It fucking sucks. Now you're gonna see why I so spun out all the time. But remember, And Chastia, tap in. And consciousness, help me. And follow your signs, because whatever you're in right now, you're designed to get out of it, but it's your superpower. And you ain't going to hurt nobody else. That's the good news. You're not going to hurt nobody else anymore. You're on your own journey, but realize that that is what's happening. You have to understand how to use the physics. You have to understand that your body is producing a different energetic. Each of you have different ways of feeling into it, all very special, all completely important. I mean, every single one of y'all that I met, it's like y'all would look at me and be like, you wanted my knowledge, and you was like, you tell me that you don't understand, you don't understand, you don't understand. Well, realize I'm a mirror. I'm a giant mirror. I just can read every single dimension over your physics, and I have the full body completion. And now, since we went through putting the AB negatives back together again, but then we had Witcher, and then we had Blood Origin, which made a Trista and a fucking baby farms is what it made. And so then I get trapped in Florida on January 2022, thinking that I'm there with an AB negative sister that's going to help me. And no, 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 no. Somebody had signed a Masonic contract. Nobody realized that each time you were doing that, you were doing it to your family in the future. Family lines got mixed and matched so freaking much. Everybody's in the wrong family. Most of y'all are not with your correct parents. Most of you's parents are your actual children. It's like we died and you jumped back in. And what ended up happening was the clones down here, or what they said were clones, but realized that your clones were actually the ones that had the 0.0248% left. Because that's what everybody was paying for. So what ended up happening is that your clones, it's like it switched. It just depends on who you are. Either no matter those of us that were in, I mean, because look, they were making us for fucking insurance. I mean, I was royal insurance on the Queen. But see, whenever the Queen died, then it was then what? Charles went and made I mean, what the fuck? We don't want monarchs. None of us wanted this power again. We're trying to get y'all activated as quick as possible. We don't want control. We don't want power. For the first time in our lives, we don't want to be responsible for everybody on the planet. We want you to be responsible for you. We want you to go build and work with your groups. And you know what? Once this is cleared up, if y'all want to go have Elf Town and make flying little butterfly babies and shit, once the human code's finished, go be it. But all y'all did it in the middle of us making human code. Everybody yelling, well, we need to do it, why do we got to do it that way? Why do we got to do it that way? I don't know, because it's fucking physics, and it's what all the skinned books that y'all worshipped, the knowledge said, not to mention that we reset all of your lines. They're reset. I don't know what the names are. And it don't matter if you came from Werewolf, Crescent, Witch, Mayfair, freaking Queen of England, Tsarina. I mean, because realize the Tsarina and the kings and the queens from the time era that I was here last, we's all in one family. We didn't live in no big old grand castle. We didn't do that in Louisiana either. Whenever it's Mary Magdalene, I mean, Mary Magdalene right there. I mean, Evergreen. I mean, they could start by giving me back the Evergreen and Sugar Plantation, because at least I could get my Star Crew in there, and then we could get some stuff going in the back, and we could start a trucking company to where we're going to come buy all your crap that you need to get rid of anyway, because we know what to do with it to make new shit. That's the type. No cell phone bill, no Wi-Fi bill. All of you getting taught your little signals of protection. All of you getting taught how to use the colors to manifest your world, change your energy. All of you taught how to work in unison with your husband in your sexual relationships. Because those of y'all that do get touched, I mean, realize none of us even know what it's like to even hold somebody's hand anymore. When you're on the dark side, you don't even have a toothbrush. We forget to eat because they never fed us. You think that we're down here, but we weren't. And there was no way. Y'all can yell at me all you want. You can scream. You can call me the devil. You can call me whatever you want. But I will not leave them behind. They pushed me up this far. And they've been the ones that are protecting me from all of you not knowing. And that's my family. And where's my dad? Who is my son even alive? Chris won't send me a picture. I don't even know if he's alive anymore or if he was just pieces. All I asked God for, I didn't ask him for money. I didn't ask him for fame. All I wanted was my fiance and my family. I tried to partner with all of you so many times to hold this banking shit. But you couldn't. That galactic entity found out and figured out that all this was hooked into me a long time ago. And he knew, oh good, all I have to do is control her and keep her a secret. And no one will ever believe and they'll all think she's crazy. Do you know how many of us died in mental wards? Your entire oil was made from the Hess family. Well, the Hess family were the ones that they were BlackRocking. Make them all shiny and new and then put all your karma on them. I mean, the reason that I know how to clean so much shadow is because my family, no matter who they were the most notorious throughout history. And they made me clean up all their dirty crap. And I didn't ever even do anything. I wasn't even here. They'd mix me with, I mean, shit. They told me it's John Wesley Hardin. Well, he's a notorious gunslinger that killed all those people, and that showed up. I mean, if I go look at the thing, I mean, 2017 and 2018, I had to make amends with all of y'all, and I didn't even do nothing. I mean, this is why the Ring of Fire is lining up over San Antonio. But it was always about the waterways to the south. They locked me in Mexico when I was 16. I saw that one girl got out of Haiti that they were holding captive. And so that, I mean, I know it's over. And I'm always ahead because I go so far up in the ethers, and 1 or 2 or 3 days, you know, it could take 3 months. But if I don't get some dental help soon, I don't know what's going to happen to the Hoover Dam. And I don't know what's going to happen to y'all's teeth. We're doing everything that we can. Everything around here. I can't. I have to have somebody that is trusted, because they wouldn't even let me use a phone today to call my parents when I knew they were flipping them out of a dimension. I'm not safe here. And in fact, the faster that y'all get me out of the country for a little bit, the quicker y'all will be able to collapse and take over everything. But without my men, just please make it worth it. If you don't do anything else, I didn't think that I'd live this long. I'm grateful to have lived this long to even see it. Because normally I'm too much for everybody and nobody can be with me, and I hurt y'all because my power becomes too strong, and then I have to Isaiah my ass out of here. By some miracle this time, I'm getting to stay. But please just don't hurt me anymore. I really can't handle it anymore. And I have to start healing my heart. Because y'all are all inside me. And the collective. But me. Because I'm the one pulling y'all through this gate right now. Like Jonah's whale or whatever. But it's Sophia's body. It's a cosmic. It's the antimatter. It's the last of the antimatter. And as we go through this needle, it's going to get pulled off, which means none of y'all have any protection. And if you're throwing energy at other people, and if you accidentally throw it at us, it could kill you. And we can't even control it. Because you're so powerful, and then you scream at us, and then it just bounces right back to you. And that's why we start yelling, because we have to match it. So don't yell at us, because we're gonna have to yell back at you. We can't suck it up anymore. No fucking glass. And that's what happened for 3 years. With all of us in this weird twin program and a bunch of gods and demigods, and they just had us killing each other with our own power by manipulating. I mean, evidently there's somebody using the Mint Mobile phone number that I just had to get rid of. Now, mind you, my L4, L5 was your patent for telecom. I mean, that's the rate that they sent me to take because I closed off Mint. Well, Ryan Reynolds set that bullshit up on me on Queens Valley whenever I went there to go get Sarah out and the Mormons, that they were still making her prick her fingers and shit. And I brought down those 2 beams in Arizona, and I sitting outside, and I heard Trump. I heard him say, give her what she wants. Next thing you know, we're all sleeping. There's children in the house. 4 of them. A 9-month-old baby that was a cross baby that I just had activated. We had just rewalked the whole little Moses thing. Because I mean, you got to walk the whole fucking thing because it's written. Next time, don't write such a big story. And then you go Japan fucking making their own little version. And then the C Street making their own little David version, which ended up giving you the COVID. Literally. And that night, man, death came on our house, and I didn't know what it was at the time. I was sleeping on the couch, and she lived on the mountain, and so I got in my car, and I was guided to go drive down the street, and there it was. They had blown up a cement truck, 2 dead bodies right there. I mean, they's killing people all around us because they wanted their souls to jump in us. I mean, this is why they'd kill everybody in the house and then leave you chained up in there, because they wanted you to absorb their death, and they wanted a little fucking demon. And I knew I had to get out of there because it wasn't safe for everybody. And then that's when I went back to LA, and that Ricky guy and the damn green screen and the whole Anna Nicole bullshit. Because, I mean, I had to walk each one of those. The only reason Anna Nicole married that fucker is because Maximilian is the one who supposedly bought most of the Louisiana Purchase DNA. Because that's what it was. They bought the DNA seeds. But Grandpa had freed us. Jesus was a quadra. That's where John the Baptist lived. There was 4 of us. South Americans were our family. They weren't slaves. When we got here, everybody here saw what we were doing with the sugar plantations, and they copied it in cotton, and they started doing slavery. It's our family. John Baptiste and Jesus, same being. 2 different dimensions. Sarah and Mary, oh my God. I mean, so many of us down here are having dimensional babies for each other still. Mary Magdalene, it was 2 sets of twins. And then we had the cousins. And then the cousins ended up da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then bankruptcy, you know. So it's like, then I lived through that in this lifetime too. Steve Jobs losing his company and then coming back. I lived through that too. If you used my DNA, if you injected yourself with me in any way, I had to go walk your line. That's why my mothers were June, Judy, Joe, Jerry, James, all on a G over there in ATM town, all on the consolidated movie contracts that have to do with Marilyn Monroe, and the fact that JFK and Marilyn made a baby that nobody ever fucking knew about. That's why she ended up going in the Red Barn. Well, do you know that every one of us from Star Crew are very familiar with the Red Barn? Those fucking blue pills, man. Thank y'all for being here again. I do know that it's almost over. I can't even remember what I titled this video. The antimatter is going to pull the antimatter is going to make you do the darkest shit. Because it's literally it's in your bubble, and it's magnetizing it out of you. And then what the illusions, because see, the ancestors taught me so much. And everything, even and realize every year around August, we will be processing people high vibe, because every year they're going to be coming in just like parachutes. But all of it can be done in high vibration, and even the illusions and the things that and this and how to make it rain in Hawaii and all that, like. And also, please, everyone understand that I don't hold all this knowledge. Now, like the story and the DNA stuff and the blood stuff, I mean, I know that stuff. But whenever it comes to y'all's Akashic libraries, they're your Akashic libraries. When I get in a room with you, or if I get in a room, let's say with 4 other people, then I'm processing it for you. And we find out together. Nothing down here can be done big without 3 of us. And normally it takes the 2 of them to get in a room. Then it takes a few days because you're in shock energetically and you're just trying to like coexist, be around each other and talk, and you're talking because all the stories will be the same because they're just different dimensions. Well, and we're looking for the keys. And then all of a sudden we'll go, oh, and there'll be where it all like links together. And then it's like, poof, the Dumbo drop. Then the magic falls. Then it gets trippy. And that's why you have to have the 3 or 4 days beforehand. Because depending on when the magic falls, then that's where you can accidentally try to kill each other, attack each other, whatever. Because you're going to, just depending on how dense it was, like you have to be in the right heart space to open it, because so that you know what it is and you don't react. And that's where most people went wrong with me, is they'd open it and then attack. And then it, by the time that they figured out that they were reacting, is too late. Then that's whenever the keys to the vaults and the keys to the banks and the keys to the dealerships because it's all here. Even the bit money and everything, it's in an energetic space. When we made it and we hit it there, it's like floating up in the universe. So it's like when the group of us that's supposed to run it rise, it just links in. It's so easy. But you don't do it with planning. You don't do it with any of that. You have to do it with intuition. And then you have to make the phone calls. And you have to connect with new people. If you're around all your old people, then just expect your own shit. And then just be done with it. And stop even hoping or praying for anything new. But this is the reason that I need to be in a room. Plus, I'm trained now to be a sovereign. And I'm here to teach y'all what that means. Because it also isn't my job to tell everybody what to do. It's my job to listen to everybody and help bridge everything, only because I'm connected into all lines, and especially because we're in new physics. Because there's just little bitty things that need to be flipped that make it massive and make it hold. But if it's done wrong, it's just going to fall like tiddlywinks, because in 2 to 3 years, this is going to untwist again. Right now, we're in the weird video game stage. We're coming into avatars, but this time we're working, and we have planets again, so it's a whole new physics with the collective and all that mess. As the other ones are either checking out, and a lot of them are, but they're coming right back. You can't die. I mean, most of those black people over there are mad because they know they're stuck over there, because they still got, and I command that whoever Christians they're holding in those metal containers in South Africa, they're on the dark side. That's a Hyatt. I banged on those. They needed to be there probably for 7 years because of everything that's going on, but they kept him there. They got him in the desert, in the middle of the thing. They're on the dark side of the sun. Fucking let him out, or blow up and sinkhole the goddamn earth and suck him down, and I'll let him fly out. Anybody that's chained up for any fucking reason. I command unchained. Anybody who's got an IV in their arm and they don't know it in any other dimension, I command to fucking take them out. If there are guards, then tonight I command you go to sleep and everybody pull a Samuel and get the fuck out. That's what type stuff I can do over here. When I have the right people around me, we can change the world in a week. I'm going to try to get some rest now. I appreciate y'all hearing me on that, because thing is, I've said this so many times and they just bury my videos, and China watches them, Saudi runs them. They're going 24/7 in the fucking temples. Everybody's saving up money to come over here and pay me $300 to print them a new body to come and attack me. I'm done with that bullshit. The people are my people. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what color you are. If you're a warlock and you're pulling that warlock shit, I don't want you. If you're pulling that witchy shit, you're going to melt when you come over here, because all we know how to do is undo your shit. Now, if you want to quit clearing, you need to come on with it. All the entertainers, they need to be coming to us. They're going to die. My problem is y'all are too attached to the rest of my children. So just because y'all have some arrogant bullshit and you're getting fed a steak while everyone else starves, you ain't gonna fuck up my children.